The death by 1,000 cuts, also known as lynching torture, was a form of Chinese torture used until the beginning of the 20th century to carry out the execution of death sentences. This torture consisted of stripping the victim naked and tying him to a post. Once attached, a multitude of cuts were made, which could range from several hundreds to 3,000. The first cuts were superficial, avoiding damaging veins or arteries. They wanted each wound to cause a lot of pain without bleeding that would cause death sooner than desired. They sought a slow and agonizing death. After these incisions, the victim was dismembered. If he was favored by the compassion or bribery of a relative, he would be previously drugged with opium. The pieces of the body were deposited in front of him: nose, ears, arms, hands, chest. He was kept alive while the condemned could see his pieces accumulate in front of him, until ending with the cutting of his head or the extraction of a vital organ. The horror of that practice, in which the skin was sliced until the bone was exposed, was observed by the rest of the town in a public square. It was also used to show what could happen to those who broke the law and went against the rules. Then, to end the procedure, all the parts of the dead were placed in a wicker basket and exposed to all those present. In this way, this torture functioned as a sentence on 3 levels: as a form of public humiliation, as a slow and prolonged death, and as punishment after death. Since its inclusion in the penal code in the Yuan dynasty until its abolition in 1905, this method of torture was used against those accused of 3 types of crimes: family crimes, those considered inhuman by Chinese morality, and lèse-majesté, that is, the one that attempted against the emperor or supposed a rebellion and offense against the Chinese imperial system. This form of execution was officially abolished in April 1905. Photography was invented before it was abolished, and therefore there are photographic records of this type of public execution. An example was the case of Fu Zuli, a guard who assassinated his boss, a Mongolian prince, in February 1905, and for which he was sentenced to public dismemberment in Beijing in April of that same year. His death occurred 2 weeks before prohibiting this type of torture, being for many the last to be carried out publicly. The scene was contemplated by a large number of people. Some Europeans took photographs that ended up being published as a series of 12 postcards that were sold in Europe. The photographs of this convict, along with that of other victims, became the subject of many articles and books published around the world. Death by 1,000 cuts, or lynching, is just one of the many methods of torture and murder carried out in China in not so distant times.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, and if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!